Hello, once again, welcome to another Snake Solid video. Now, truthfully, when I was making the video yesterday that I was making about the news about Persona 3 Reload, I actually was going to include some screenshots that also were released by Atlus, but the trailer was released when I was about to go to bed, and I was already running out of brain cells by the time that I was editing the stuff I already had, so I decided to cut it short and just kind of put into another video. Especially since I could just, it was already going on fairly long, but I guess 7 minutes isn't that long. But you'll see that this video is fairly long because of some stuff that I cover anyways. So in this video, I wanted to cover the release screenshots as well as looking at both the Japanese Persona 3 Reload site as well as the Western one because it's kind of interesting. I would have covered the website earlier, but you know how it is when I say that I want to wait because they didn't even have all the characters when the site first launched. So let's get into looking at some screenshots. So the first one is the full render of Akihiko's new artwork, and I really like the way that this looks. First of all, I've always said that I liked the art for Reload, and looking at this one, there's a lot of nice details on it. Moving on. First, we see the 5-1 screenshot, and it's just him talking to the group. Then you have the frame of him punching things, and I really like this frame specifically. Anybody who watched my meme that I made about this, the Metal Gear Rising one, will know why. Here's a few of them. There's one of him summoning his persona, and one of him casting Zio. Well, two of them of him casting Zio. It looks like in two different locations, which looks really cool. And the battle UI does look substantially better than it did in the first trailer, which is really cool because usually you don't see that with AAA game developers. They don't usually say footage not final, and then they make it final, you know, Pokemon. Moving on, we have Mitsuru's full artwork for Reload, and this, I like this a lot as well. A lot of the art for this game is very clean. I like the shading. This is like a level of shading that I could never actually do as an artist, like for real. This is the type of line work and shading and even, I don't know. Just something I could never do. A lot of detail in these pieces. It looks like we have a screenshot from the day that you do the rescue mission for Fuka with Mitsuru, where she's asking if we're planning to do something unethical under her supervision at the school. That's interesting. Another one at the full moon event when you are going to fight the shadow that's on the train. We have a picture of her on her bike. I wish that we got a shot of her with the helmet on because that's a thing that's pretty iconic from that part of the game in 3. The only time you see her wear it. And here's one of her summoning her persona, and I think this is block 3. I might be wrong. It's either 3 or 2. So could also be block 5 actually, couldn't it? I think. I don't know. I'm probably sounding very stupid. Here's one of her. This looks like it's about to be her crit animation where she's about to stab you. Moving on, it's everybody's favorite character. It's Fuka, guys. Look, I love this character. First of all, I like the posing and the expression. The lighting, as all usual, is pretty nice. I don't 100% know what the light source is here. I'm not saying that it's bad, I don't understand light sources in drawing to the best of my extent. The way the light filters down on the characters in this art kind of makes me think of like kind of what it looks like when something's underwater and light filters down from the top. But yeah. So first we have her getting her weapon and her seize equipment. She just mentions that she's nervous. Her portrait looks very happy. Here's another of her out and about on a little after I think you get her. Yeah, this is after you get her, after her full moon event. Just more dialogue. Here's one of her inside of her persona during her full moon recruitment. This is just her awakening her persona, it would seem. Now that I think about it, actually, looking at these things, I have to take into account something. We don't see them in some of these battle shots. We don't see them with their seize equipment that they have in the trailer, which makes me think that them getting equipment must be something that is later on in the game. They must not start out with their equipment, which is interesting. Either that or these are a costume choice, which it probably is, but I wonder if you just don't get the equipment at first. That's interesting. Anyways, the last one, we have a shot out of her in Yukari in her room with her talking about what she can do to help. Notably, Yukari's in her summer outfit, which I've actually been wanting to see. And then we get to these last set of screenshots. Now, something I want to point out with these is that these were ones that I got off of the Japanese website, which you'll see when I transition to the other half of this video. So let's try and just go through these before I go to that. First, we'll do Shinjiro. I like his render. I like his posing. I like how a lot of the characters are looking up or straight ahead. That's an interesting thing that I've seen in a lot of these not designs, but in a lot of these images. Going down it, we have a few shots of him talking. One to him talking to Akihiko and the protagonist. One of him asking the protagonist, saying, "Maybe I'll treat you out to dinner sometime." One of him summoning his persona, and another one of him summoning his persona, but in a more sort of cinematic shot. Over here, we also have Kin. I like the art for this game is fantastic. It completely blows the kind of goofy way some of the old art in old Persona 3 looks like. The only case I'd argue that's a bad thing is probably in Fuka's case. The goofiness, the awkward goofiness in hers, I think helps. We have one of him joining, one of him talking to the protagonist. It looks like cooking is going to be a mechanic because Kin also has an apron as well, so it's in a similar place to where you are talking to Yukari, so this must be like a sort of bonding thing you can do. One of him attacking, and one of him that looks like it might be a crit or effective animation beginning. Now, something I want to mention is that with Shinjiro and Kin's, in battle, they also don't have like the Seize equipment, so... And this is a spoiler, by the way, for anybody that has not watched or played Persona 3, so don't listen to what I'm about to say if you want to play the game, but I think maybe the equipment might be something that is gotten after Shinjiro passes away. But anyways, I'm gonna pass the video over to past Snake Solid to go over the websites and stuff like that. Oh, look, there we go. Hello, welcome back to another case of Live Snake Solid. So, let's get started. I'll cover both the Japanese and the English site, because there is interesting differences. Nothing like substantial like content, but you know. So, we have Persona 3 Reload. There's the trailer, and the screenshots that I definitely probably have already covered, and if there's any new ones, I probably covered them in the edited portion of this video. But yeah, and now there's the story. Step into the shoes of a transfer student thrust into an unexpected fate when entering the hour hidden between one day and the next. Awaken an incredible power and chase the mysteries of the Dark Hour. Fight for your friends and leave a mark on their memories forever. Persona 3 Reload is a captivating reimagining of a genre-defining RPG reborn for the modern era. And then there's the key features. Experience the pivotal game of the Persona series, faithfully remade with cutting-edge graphics, modernized quality-of-life features, and signature stylish UI. Fully immerse yourself in an emotional gripping journey with new scenes, characters, interactions, and additional voiceover. Choose how to meaningfully spend each day through various activities, from exploring the port island to forging genuine bonds with beloved characters. Build and command your optimal team to take down otherworldly shadows and climb closer to the truth. And then there's the characters, and this is kind of what I wanted to wait. The reason I wanted to wait until we had more information about the game, just because the website would feel more complete if we had all of C's here. So the protagonist, a second year who transferred to Gekkoukan High in the spring, returning to the island he used to live on as a child. After running with a frightening monster awakens him to the power of Persona, he is recruited by the specialized extracurricular execution squad, C's. The first persona that awakens within him is Orpheus, but he turns out to be a special case who can swap between multiple personas at will, giving the player great flexibility in battle strategy. Yukari Takeba, a second year at Gekkoukan High School and classmate of the protagonist. Her cheerful personality and good looks attract many admirers, but beneath the pleasantries, she's rather headstrong and aloof. She's a member of C's as a persona user, and after she and the protagonist have a close call with a shadow, she reconsiders her lack of battle experience and joins him on the front lines. She utilizes her skills from the archery club to draw her bow in battle. Her unique persona is Io, specializing in wind and healing skills. Junpei Iori, another of the protagonist's classmates. Next to Yukari, he awakens to his persona ability shortly after the protagonist transfers into the school, prompting him to join the rest of SEES in the Iwatai dorm. Quite the class clown, he's always ready to joke around and lighten the mood, which isn't always appreciated by the eye-rolling Yukari. In battle, he uses a two-handed sword along with his unique persona Hermes. He specializes in physical and fire skills. He's been waiting for this. Akihiko Sanada, a third year at Gekkoukan High School and one of the founding members of SEES. He's the captain of the boxing team and excels in academics as well as earning him a lot of fans around school. He's got an effortlessly cool and stoic personality, but can be stubborn and even a bit naive at times. An injury sustained during combat with a shadow holds him back for a little while, but ever eager to get back into the ring, he soon recovers and returns to his place on the front lines. In battle, he uses his skills as a boxer to deliver a beatdown with his fists. His unique persona, Polydius, specializes in physical and electrical skills. Mitsuru Kurijo, the heiress of a powerful international corporation, the Kurijo Group. She's a third year at Gekkoukan High School and serves as student council president. She also leads SEES and organizes their operations. With a business-like demeanor, she likes to keep everything in order. She is well respected as an honor student who excels in both studies and extracurriculars, but due to her high-class upbringing, she can be oblivious to things most folk would consider common sense. As she is the head of the fencing team, she wields one-handed swords in battle. Her unique persona is Penthesia, specializing in ice and healing skills. Apologies if I mispronounce things sometimes. Oh boy, it's fucked. Guys, look, it's Fuka.
Lemon.
A quiet and calm year at Gekkoukan High School. Less upstanding students take advantage of her timidness, turning her into a bullying target. As a result of the bullying, she gets trapped within the dark hour and has to be rescued by the protagonist and his friends. This experience leads her to awaken the power of persona and decide to join SEES herself. Her strength lies in data collection and analysis, allowing her to support the team from the sidelines. Her unique persona is Lucia, the dog, also known as Koromaru. A dog who awakens to the power of persona after a tragic event. Since his original owner, the priest of the dorm's neighboring Naganaki shrine, had passed away, the protagonist and his friends take him in as a full-fledged member of SEES. Clever, loyal, and friendly, he quickly becomes a beloved member of the group. He seems especially close to Aigus, who translates his barks, and Kinemata, the elementary school student. In battle, he wields a knife in his mouth. His unique persona is Cerebus, specializing in dark skills. He's not close to Junpei, even though it seems like Koromaru is pretty close to him, if you remember the answer. Aigus, a man-made anti-shadow suppression weapon, 7th generation. She joins SEES as an android with human-like heart, granting her the power of persona. She harbors a mysterious attachment to the protagonist from the first day they meet. Initially coming across as cold and robotic, she begins to discover more human emotions through her experiences with the group. In battle, she fires off an arsenal of weapons built into her mechanical body. Her unique persona is Palladium, specializing in physical and support skills. And Shinjiro... Oh, we got one. I'm used to Shinjiro being the last one. On the other website, he is the last one. Shinjiro Aragaki, a third year at Gekkoukan High, though he can rarely be seen at school. He was a founding member of SEES alongside Mitsuru and Akihiko. After distancing himself for about 2 years, a certain turn of events convinces him to rejoin the group. While unapproachable at first glance, beneath the gruff exterior is a gentle heart and a knack for cooking. He even has a soft spot for animals, doting on Koromaru when no one is looking. In battle, he bludgeons with weapons like axes. His unique persona is Castor, specializing in hard-hitting physical attacks. Kinemata, the youngest member of SEES, a 5th grader at Gekkoukan Elementary. After losing his mother in an accident, he comes to live at the Iwatai dorm. After awakening to his persona abilities, he joins Seas of his own accord. While he strives to act mature with mannerisms, deep down he is still a child with a passion for superhero TV shows. In battle, he holds a long spear in contrast with his short stature. His unique persona is Nemesis, specializing in light skills. And yeah, continuing down, there's obviously the pre-order part. We already mentioned the story, but what I also want to cover is, what that's interesting is the Japanese site. This is the Japanese site, and it is actually substantially different. There's no nav bar up top. This makes my computer lag a bit, so sorry if the mouse like freezes. I have to scroll down. The playing the trailer button is like this. Everything seems a lot more stylized instead of formatted like a Western website, which I thought it was interesting to highlight. If you press more information, they put a lot of things like the graphics, the system, the story, and the animation. And its other thing that's kind of it rises up a little bit, a bit more artful. I think it's just really interesting that they have the website like this. Like, I'm pressing down on the scroll wheel, and it just scrolls through all of the character portraits, and you click on one, and then it shows you the information behind it. And it's a lot more artful with how it does these things. I just think that that's kind of really neat, and I just kind of wanted to also highlight that as well. So I'm going to hand off this back to past Snake Solid, or no, it's not past, I'm past Snake Solid. I'm handing this off to future Snake Solid to finish the video. Otherwise, I'm about to jump scare everybody once.